Was this team on Monday night, but I think I'll ask something different.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's the highest scoring team in the league, obviously. First time they haven't scored 100 points all season. What stood out to you defensively about your guys' effort tonight?
I thought that we really were, very connected defensively. There was really good communication. I thought we were on point when we needed to switch, and we were on point when we needed to stay in coverages and stay with our man. And the only way that happens is through communication. I really thought that the way they helped each other, was really important, to your point, with them being such a hard team to guard offensively and the number of points they scored. So I give our guys a lot of credit. I know it was a tough trip for them coming from where they were coming, and that happens during the course of the season, but I still felt like the way they responded coming out of our last game against Washington, it was good to see them do that. And they did it. I thought they did it as a team, and they did it collectively as a group.
Vooch matches field goal attempt total in the first 5 minutes. Was there a concerted effort to kind of get him going early after what happened last game?
Yeah, yes. We talked about some of this stuff and drilled some of this stuff. And I think I maybe mentioned to you guys after the game against Washington, there are times where, he and Andre are screening and they're in rolling situations. And, Andre's a little bit different, than Vooch, because sometimes Andre's a lob threat. Vooch is not a lob threat. He's a threat when you kind of can thread the needle between two defenders and get him in the pocket where he can make the next play. Or you got to find him late on rolls. And when the ball gets sprayed out, I think we had too many guys, especially in the first half, just catching the ball and putting their heads down immediately to try to drive. And he's working a seal, and we found him, and we found Andre on some of those situations. I think with the way, our team is constructed, and also with the injuries we've had to endure, for us to get to the paint, not only off the dribble, we've got to utilize those guys when they're rolling and they have deep seal, deep post position. And there are times, where we have a size and advantage, and it doesn't even necessarily mean having a size or a strength advantage as much as we have a positional advantage. We got a guy sealed in the paint with 2 feet, like the ball's got to go there, and we got to find a way there. So we talked about some of that stuff and drilled some of that stuff, after the Washington game, and I thought we were better tonight. I thought we found Andre more, and I also thought we found Vooch more.
Just one more quick one. What do you think of Javante's first rotational turn, those 9 straight minutes?
I was really happy for him personally, because he's a great guy. He's the same, what you're getting every single time you put him on the court. It's just, a bunch of energy. And, I felt like it may be a game because of Siakam and Halliburton. Io not feeling well. We needed another energy body on one of those two guys. And I thought Javante could come in. I didn't know how he would be. I know he'd play really hard. But I'm happy for him because, to go through what he went through, with the knee injury and then having to go to the G League, it's probably pretty humbling, especially I think for his time here. He performed so well here. He was he moved into the starting lineup. He was like a guy that really complimented the starters. And then for him to go down like he did and kind of maybe almost start over again, for me personally, the journey he's had to go through, I'm really happy for him.
With maintaining that lead from the first half through that third quarter, even when there was a little dip, what do you think you guys can learn just from kind of the discipline of that? That's been something you guys have maybe struggled with in times when you built leads.
Yeah, I thought we missed some shots. I thought we got too wrapped up in some of the officiating. And, you see this all around the league. The teams are going to make runs, and it happens quickly. I was happy the way our guys responded. I didn't expect it. It was going to go from 21 to 25 to 29. There's going to be kind of these ebbs and flows. I was happy the way we responded. Some of it was self-induced, quite honestly, that we, allowed them to really get back into the game. But once we kind of gathered our composure, I thought we responded well.
What you think about the way Kobe attacked the paint tonight? I'm not sure if he was doing that to kind of get himself going, to get his outside shot going, or what it was, but he was really kind of attacking tonight.
I talked to him about this the other day because I felt after the Washington game, he's been so good with his voice, but I really, I think sometimes players, when they feel like maybe they're not playing great on a particular night or whatever it may be, that they shouldn't talk, or But Kobe's really so well respected inside of our team, and I tried to talk to him a little bit about this is, how many times do you see, in a game, a guy makes a shot and he's yelling out, "Let's go." You never hear a guy make a turnover, miss a shot, say "Let's go." And I was explaining to Kobe, you gonna have, regardless of how it's going for you, you're gonna have to be a "let's go" guy, regardless. And that's part of what you can do. And you've established a voice. And I give him credit. He didn't have a great shooting night at all, but he was into the game. He was into it on the bench. He was into it in huddles. He did a phenomenal job. And Torrey Craig after the game acknowledged how much it helped him and thought it brought a lot of life to our team. So those are I think the growth periods for him as a leader that he's learning. But I was I was very impressed with him tonight, even though it was not a great offensive night for him.
Let's go with one thing on Alex. Notice you started him sort of at point, facilitating. Obviously, you said the other day about wanting to keep Kobe off the ball, but him, every game he seems to leave, other than this one, with some sort of injury, limps off, comes back, then you put him in that position. How much are you relying on him? How much effect did he have?
Some of it was like matchups, like what we actually did with him, him handling the ball and some of the stuff, was to either get into early screening actions or to use him as a screener, and Halliburton is obviously an unbelievable offensive player in terms of what he generates for himself and for his teammates. I think sometimes you got to make guys like that work. And at least last game we played against them, they had him on Alex, and I think that you want to make a player like that have to work on both ends of the floor. And, so I think Alex is smart enough where you can play him in all these multiple positions and he can do a lot of different things. So, some of it was getting him in actions very early and quickly.
I have one more question just about Javonte Green. He was a plus 26 tonight on the floor. Just about his intangibles and how important is it to add another defender to this roster?
Well, we need some size, because I think if you saw what happened when Torrey goes down when I say goes down, he goes out with 3 fouls, and you're dealing with a long wing player like Siakam who's going to be posting up a lot. That's a hard matchup for us. And then you have Halliburton on the perimeter, right? So Alex is going to guard one of those guys, but we started the game tonight with Ayo on Siakam. That's a hard matchup. And now, Ayo, I thought battled and competed as well as he could. But to have Javonte there, to put him on some of those bigger wings, where maybe Alex can play the point guard and he and Torrey can kind of help out in that position. So I think being able to get him was very, very helpful to our team.